Innovate is an SME based in Switzerland, in Zurich, and is very active across Europe and beyond. And in the last couple of years, we have been focusing on the development of Orchestra Cities, an open source platform that enables digitally empowered and sustainable smart cities. And only by ensuring an organic and sustainable development with continuous replanning and dynamic local adaptation, we can bring our cities into the future. Orchestra Cities allows multiple cities or regions to work together and facilitates innovation with the co-creation of application and use cases by citizens and third-party businesses. This is key to enable participatory democracy, circular economy, climate-neutral cities, trustworthy data, and agile service provisioning. Orchestra Cities in particular is already helping our customers on key scenarios such as environmental air quality monitoring, traffic and parking management, and intelligent waste collection. It has been deployed in different scenarios. Initially, it was developed in the context of the Select for Cities project and is now managed directly by Martel within a community-based open source development process. The platform was tested with several cities, with Antwerp in Belgium, with Helsinki in Finland, and in Mexico City, and now is being adopted in Wolfsburg in Germany and by the EKZ multi-provider in the canton Zurich in Switzerland. For EKZ in particular, Orchestra Cities allows to tailor support for multiple use cases with the adjustable information sharing. In fact, we have data collection, integration, geotagging, and time series capability that enables sophisticated dimensional visualization of data, such as needed for air quality monitoring. Another very interesting deployment scenario in Wolfsburg empowers users to plan the most effective route for waste disposal. So each user has a mobile app that indicates what's the best way or where to dispose the waste, considering container type, field level, and user destination. About interoperability, Orchestra City is based on Fireware, that is the most mature open source framework available today dealing with requirements for smart cities. And Martel has been engaged in the Fireware activities since its inception and is currently a gold member of the association. So Orchestra Cities really provides built-in support for portability and interoperability of smart cities solutions based on Fireware NGSI API that are also, by the way, the minimal interoperability mechanisms as stated by the OASC, the Open and Agile Smart Cities Association. We provide multi-tenancy to support groups of cities and towns working together for their common benefit. We have advanced service orchestration and infrastructure as code with Kubernetes runtime and toolchain. We have Quantum Leap time series database and API to build real-time historical records from the Fireware context broker. And in this way, openness and interoperability become core features of Orchestra Cities. In this way, Orchestra Cities becomes a collaborative space for shaping a sustainable and participatory future for our cities, where our citizens can share data from their devices with other citizens or with the cities. Businesses can easily build services on top of APIs that are shared across possibly different cities. And third, cities can benefit from data published by other cities to create analysis, comparisons, and forecasts. Orchestra City brings several advantages in terms of cost, scalability, and modularity. And several municipality, regions, and community can connect, integrate, and visualize insightful information, but they can also create a space where to share data and services. We believe this is crucial. This is crucial to develop and offer sustainable digital services that can facilitate social inclusion while boosting and scaling our economies.
Hi, my name is Thomas Hohenacker. I'm the founder and CEO of Cleverciti. Cleverciti Systems is based in Munich. That's where our headquarters are. And we have a large production unit and development unit near Lake Constance in the southwestern part of Germany. And we have offices in Atlanta and also in Bristol in the UK. Searching for parking space in our cities is still based on a medieval system called luck. And we are set to change that. Currently, about 30% of all traffic in our cities is looking for a parking space. And of course, that has an enormous cost to society because that creates a lot of unnecessary pollution and a lot of time wasted. Actually, in the US and Germany alone, 6.8 billions of hours are wasted every year, and 28 million metric tons of CO2 are emitted. And that is not necessary because parking search traffic can be avoided by providing drivers with valuable data so that they can make informed decisions wherever they can go. In order to solve the problem of parking, the most important thing is, first of all, to have correct data. Therefore, Cleverciti created a unique sensor system that is deployed on infrastructure that's available everywhere throughout the city. These are lampposts, lighting structures, lighting infrastructure where our sensors are deployed. Our sensors are highly accurate artificial intelligence sensor that monitor the spaces under the lamppost, and a single sensor can monitor up to about 100 spaces. So it's a very, very efficient and very reliable system. But to have the data alone, which spaces are free and which spaces are occupied, is not enough. You need to provide that data to everybody driving around. And the best way to achieve this is by parking guidance signs that are installed everywhere. So we said, well, we're already generating the data on the lamppost. Why not also make the lamppost the distributor of the data? So we created a unique system that wraps around the lamppost, which I'm showing you here. It's called the Circ 360, and it's a 360-degree dimension, a 360-degree sign that provides the driver the information where available spaces are in every direction. So imagine you are at a red light and you see, and you're looking for a parking space. You see that on the left side there are 3 spaces available, on the right side there are 8 spaces available, so you can make an immediate informed decision about where to go. Furthermore, we provide also signage where parking garage data can be integrated together with our on-street data. So instead of going to the city center and searching in vain for a parking space, you can now drive directly to an available garage because all data is available for you at all the time, at any time. Needless to say, the data is also provided into apps, into navigation devices. So any digital means you can also access the data and make an informed decision where to go. This saves enormous amount of time. And for instance, in cities where we're already deployed, we could prove that we can reduce the time to search for a parking space by roughly about 45% through our guidance systems. The Cleverciti systems are deployed in 20 countries around the world in about 200 locations. For instance, we are the market leader in the UK for Park and Ride. At the Park and Ride stations, our systems are deployed at about 120 train stations in the southern part of England and also in the midwestern part of England. So drivers, before taking the train, can immediately see are there spaces available at their favorite Park and Ride, and they can be sure that they can catch the train in time. In my background, you see our signage in the city of Cologne. Here, for instance, the Circ 360s are deployed at lamppost through our partner, the local utility company, and the drivers can really make a decision at every intersection whether they should rather go left or right or straight, and that avoids unnecessary searching, especially in the small one-way streets. The system is deployed in a very, very busy zone where there are a lot of retailers. So it's important for the retailers really to attract customers and make sure that they can offer them a seamless shopping experience and also not waste time to find a parking space. So they would rather spend the time in the store instead of circling around for nothing.
Hi, I'm Mathieu Carlier, the CEO of Everimpact. Everimpact is an IoT solution to measure, reduce, and monetize greenhouse gas emissions for cities. Our team in Everimpact, actually, we are former CEOs of the United Nations system. We have managed agencies of $1.2 billion in revenues with 7,000 employees. And we've got a lot of experience working with local authorities and bringing innovations to local authorities. Our company has the headquarters in Paris, in France, in a place called Station F, which is the largest campus of startup companies and the most innovative companies in France, and another office also in Copenhagen, in Denmark. What we have seen when working with cities is that climate change is becoming a huge problem, and most cities globally will have to reduce carbon emissions by 40% in the next 10 years. And there is a lot of cities, more than 10,000 worldwide, that have committed to reduce CO2 by 40% in the next 10 years. And what we see is that when cities are trying to reach climate neutrality, they tend to face several problems. And one of the main barriers is financing. How do we finance the climate actions to become carbon neutral? And this is the problem that we are trying to solve. And what we see is that private sector financing is available. There is a lot of money to invest, but the investors, private sector, actually lack the green bankable projects in cities. They have difficulties to source those projects. On the other side of the spectrum, we also see cities don't always know their carbon footprint. They usually rely on greenhouse gas inventories that are estimated data. They don't know necessarily where to start and how to reduce carbon emissions. How can they finance the reduction efforts as well? And in the end, they know very little about green and sustainable finance instruments. And this is a big problem we've seen in the last years. We've been working with European cities mostly. So our solution to this problem is that we measure greenhouse gas emissions in real time by combining satellite data and sensors on the ground. We help cities reduce their carbon emissions to identify where they can reduce and the potential of reductions, and help them target that. And three, we help them finance their reduction efforts to help find the money to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. We package all these into an IoT platform where we come up with the automated carbon footprint of cities. We give them insights into reductions. We certify the data reductions, and we help them find financing for the projects, the climate actions. So we are really bringing an innovation to cities, a new way to finance themselves by generating 100 to several million, up to 30 million euros per year for cities in financing. Mechanisms that are not available yet to most cities, and that we're trying to bring to them. We have deployed this mechanism in 8 European cities along the years. And we've worked with cities like Manchester City Council, the Royal Greenwich Borough in UK, with cities like Porto and Spanish cities, 8 European cities in total, working with EU projects like FIWARE and OASC. And we also preparing to scale to 100 cities for different partners. And we are working closely with partners in the UK, with British Telecom, to reach the entire country and help the cities there, and with EDF in France. And we are basically scaling to 100 cities soon through different partners. And we're also working with other sectors, like in shipping, where we're working with a coalition of the 10 largest shipping companies to help them decarbonize the shipping industry. So how do we secure the interoperability between cities? Because it's an important thing for OSC. Our company has actually delivered different projects with the EU fireware technology that ensures data transmission between cities, and with OSC through the EU synchronicity project. And we, of course, follow the best practice and data standards. Last but not least, we'd like to get in touch, and feel free to reach out to me. You have my email here. We want to help cities understand better how they can find financing. We have an innovative solution. We've got financing from private sector markets for them that they probably don't know about. So reach out to us. And we're also seeking new partners to work with cities and bring low carbon solutions to cities and partner with those type of companies. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm Mathieu Carlier, the CEO of Everimpact. Thank you.
Good day, everybody. My name is Mark van den Akker. I'm presenting to you for the City on City Festival, together with XD Visuals as a company in Helsinki. We've built some quite unique solutions that we would like to share with you. First of all, what we made is a digital twin for smart city solution that will combine all data from all sources in any format and according to any standard and bring that together. And in the next 5 minutes, I hope I can take you through this and show you what we have on offer. First of all, the solution overview, it has two distinct solution areas. Number one, for planning and analyzing to get better alternatives for city planning and to collaborate with the stakeholders that influence the city planning. And this is, of course, all from a city perspective. And then on the other hand, we want to use citizens, not only in the city planning area, but also in the day-to-day usage so that we can motivate citizens to use the city in a more eco-friendly way. And for that, of course, we have on the backside lots of artificial intelligence that we're putting inside the solution. And whether this is on data analysis, so the data science engine, whether this is on the knowledge science engine for the AI knowledge environment, or for the AI decisioning environment, which makes the best possible solution given the optimization strategies. But also a simulation engine that allows you to do an AI what-if analysis. Now, important part is we also have added to this whole platform augmented reality interfacing, which means if you have the mobile app from the city planning environment and you go on site to a construction site, you can see the ready building on your mobile phone as a projection on top of what the camera sees. Then if we're looking into the digital twin, how does it work? First of all, we've gathered the data from the whole world as it is publicly available, as you can see here. The level of detail is not that big, but you can see all the buildings, all the constructions that are known. Yeah? And it gives you a global terrain perspective of what's going on. Then next is, of course, the more specific areas. If we start working with the city, we get there the 3D model and can see in much more detail what's going on in the actual city. It gives you a good perspective of what's happening, and you can add additional data layers on top, as we will show on the next slides. Yeah, here we have the digital twin, but then in a 4D perspective, where the fourth dimension is, of course, the timeline, and you can see gradually over time how construction work is being undertaken. And this, of course, gives you a very good perspective of what is all going to happen in the city next. Of course, the next step is that you want to see what, if you have built or certain buildings planned, what the impact is in terms of, for instance, the shades or the accessibility or the connections. As you can see here, we are simulating the sunshades of the building as an AI-driven solution in that environment. If we go further, then what you can see is that we can add layers on top of this specific part of the city. So first we have the city planning in terms of building and constructions. Then we can project on that what is all in 10 minutes walking distance. And next to that, we can see what is all within a 10 minutes bicycle ride to this specific city. And if we want to go even further, we can see and project where the construction permits have been issued. Yeah, so who is going to make buildings and constructions where, so that we can include that in the overall pictures. Of course, what's also very important is that we can project on top of that the air quality. So what does it look like to have a smart city? And also, what is the impact of the construction works going on when we over time make changes to the city? Next to that is, of course, what is equally important in my personal view is what is the noise level in the different parts of the cities. So which people in which area will experience a very heavy noise burden. So in summary, what we are actually doing is giving you a way to combine data from any source, from any format, with any attached predictions, real time, enabled for augmented reality and enabled for mobile usage in one integrated visualization engine. And this visualization will help you to make the step into the future and better prepare for anything that you're going to undertake with your city in terms of mobility, in terms of eco-friendliness, etc. If you have more questions, please contact us at supergraph.nl in the Netherlands, and we are most happy to help you any further. Thank you very much, and have a fantastic conference.